this nature walk, right? You know, I'm a diehard Minnesota Viking fan from PA. Philly, everything besides football. You know what I mean? Been a Viking fan for over 20 years. And the reason why is because of Randy Moss. I just want to say that because I want people to understand it's been a while, man, since the Vikings been a true contender where I'm like, yo, we going to make it to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I think the closest that I felt like the best that the Vikings had a chance to get into the Super Bowl was, what year was that? When we had Brett Favre, I honestly felt like we was going to win the Super Bowl. The Case Keenum, the Minneapolis Miracle. Of course, I'm optimistic thinking that we're going to win the Super Bowl, especially when we came back against the Saints. You know what I mean? And then we lost in the NFC Championship game against the Eagles, and that was just a defeat that I wish I could just take out. I wish I could take that memory out my memory bank. I hate thinking about that game. That game was terrible. You know what I mean? I used to always say, like, every time Case Keenum did what he did, I will always say to, like, the haters, I'm like, yo, Case Keenum just caught another case. You know, I miss Case Keenum. But anyway, the topic of this video, shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going live. I'm underneath this bridge. So you can tell, it's like a little echo. I'm underneath this bridge. All right, but anyway, I'm going live for absolutely every single Minnesota Viking game this season. So if you're interested, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. So even if you're not a Viking fan, consider subscribing if you're feeling the vibes. Because when we go against your team, we're going to beat the brakes off of your team. And we're going to talk trash in the comments. As long as it's respectful, it is what it is. We're going to talk trash in the comments. But let me get to the topic, right? Will the Minnesota Vikings be a top 10 defense in 2025? And that's an honest question for everybody that's listening to this video. To be honest with you, I feel like the Minnesota Vikings have a chance to be a true contender this year because we addressed everything we needed to address in the offseason. And even in the draft, we addressed the offensive line, the trenches. It starts in the trenches when it comes to winning a Super Bowl. And I think we addressed everything. When you talk about Brian Flores as one of the best defensive coordinators. Matter of fact, let me start with Kwesi. Kwesi being that guy as a GM to address a lot of these needs on both sides of the ball when it comes to the trenches. But let's talk about the defensive line specifically. It was simply amazing, man. I was like pleasantly surprised at how good he was this offseason. Not really like surprised, but just like ecstatic because it's just like, wow. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Are you able? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, so the defensive line for the Minnesota Vikings was addressed when you sign Jonathan Allen, when you sign Javon Hargrave, when you sign players of that caliber in the interior defensive line, we already got the edge taken care of. When you talk about Andrew Van Ginkel, when you talk about Dallas Turner, when you talk about Jonathan Grenard, when you talk about players of that caliber, but now we address the interior defensive line where we can stop the run and get after it, get after that quarterback. When you have a Jonathan Allen, like from the Commanders, that was an underrated pickup. Not many people talk about that pickup as much, and I'm actually surprised. Like, he's not like old, he's in his late prime, he's still a really good defensive tackle. And Javon Hargrave, we know how good he can be when he's healthy. So I'm like really surprised that people are not talking about the Vikings interior defensive line, which was the weakness that we had for a long time. But now it's not a weakness. We addressed it in the offseason, and now I feel like our secondary is not just going to be on an island. We don't have to blitz all the time to get to the quarterback. You know, Brian Flores is amazing with his blitz schemes, but he doesn't have to blitz all like that, because if we can get after it in the front four, front three, depending on the scheme that Brian Flores is trying to run, mainly it's going to be a 3-4 defense. But sometimes Brian Flores does switch it up, and he might run a 4-3 defense. Depending on the matchup. That's what he said at a press conference last year. He said, depending on the matchup, that's what we're going to run. And I love it, man. I love the way that Brian Flores can adapt game to game. And that's why I'm a big Brian Flores guy. But I just love the fact that Kwesi and KLC, Brian Flores, they addressed the biggest weakness on that defensive line, and that was the defensive tackle position. And then on top of that, I think our secondary is actually better than what people think. The Minnesota Vikings secondary is pretty solid. I'm gonna say solid. I'm not gonna say good until I see it, because I don't want to exaggerate our corners. But I like I like Byron Murphy. I love the fact that we signed Isaiah Rodgers. I like Mekhi Blackman coming back. Shout out to you, Vikings. Skull to the bull. Shout out to you. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're going live for absolutely every single Minnesota Viking game. And I'm just talking about the Vikings and just thinking that we could be a top 10 defense this year. I really feel like the Vikings could be a top 10 defense. For real. I really feel like that, right? But when you talk about getting back to the secondary, right? The secondary for the Vikings, when you talk about Isaiah Rodgers, Mekhi Blackman coming off that injury, when you talk about Byron Murphy, you talk about our safeties and my guy Harrison Smith and Theo Jackson, and I'm not sure if Darius Okuda is going to get the opportunity, but the potential of him getting some meaningful minutes and doing some good things for us, I really feel like our secondary is slept on. And it's mainly because, like, we know what it is, man. Like, we always blitz. Last season, we blitzed a lot because we couldn't get to the quarterback without blitzing a lot of the times, or not often enough. Like, we got to the quarterback. Don't get it twisted. Andrew Van Ginkel was doing his thing. Jonathan Grenard was doing his thing. We got to the quarterback, but not often enough because our secondary would give up big plays. What's going on, brother, man? Say hi. What's going on here? Get your quarters back. Get your what? I'm not understanding what you mean. But shout out to everybody that's in the building. There's a lot of trolls today. I'm not really sure what's going on today. There's a lot of trolls today. I'm not really sure. But shout out to everybody in the building. Can you? I can't just mod you. I don't even know who you are. If you're in the comments, I cover the Vikings on this channel. If I see you in the comments a lot, I'll just make you a mod. But I can't just make anybody become a mod. But shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. Like, I don't understand. Shout out to Grasshopper. Thank you, bro. Like, I'm not really sure what's going on today. But there's a lot of trolls today. Unfortunately, on Friday, people were just coming out and just being trolls today. I don't understand it. And I'm not going to give you no more time, no more attention. But I'm going to say this to all the trolls out there. One more thing I want to say. Would you keep that same energy if you was in front of the person that you're trolling? 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't keep that same energy. You wouldn't. Just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. You wouldn't. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hi, everybody. Hit that like button. Definitely. Yeah, a lot of people were just crazy today. But yeah, man. I truly believe that the Vikings will be a top 10 defense. Secondary's on point. I can't wait to see Theo Jackson. The coaching staff is very high on Theo Jackson this season, and I can't wait to see it, bro. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's going on with people nowadays, man. People are just so, like, what they call them, keyboard warriors, man. Keyboard warriors. But it is what it is. I ain't gonna give them no more time, no more attention. It's just annoying sometimes. But I can't let them annoy me, because then that means they win. So I'm just gonna bypass it and block them. You know what I mean? But it's just like, what are y'all doing? But yeah, man. Another player I wanted to give a shout out to, right, on the defense of the Vikings is Eric Wilson, linebacker. He came back. I think he's gonna get some meaningful minutes, man. Somewhere, somehow, he's gonna get some minutes. I like Eric Wilson. I think Josh Metellus is gonna have a pretty good season. But another player that I haven't talked about, I'm sorry about the win, y'all. Another player that I haven't talked about is Jay Ward. Jay Ward. I believe he went to LSU. I believe he went to LSU and we drafted him a couple years ago or 2 seasons ago. I don't know. I know it had to been at least 2 seasons, right? Jay Ward, safety. I would love to see him get some opportunity, bro. Like, I would love Skull to the bowl, Skull to the bowl, Skull to the bowl. Skull, Don, what's going on, brother, man? How y'all doing today, man? How's everybody doing? I'm going live for every Minnesota Viking game, so if y'all haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's definitely going down. Even if you're not a Viking fan, consider subscribing because we're going live for every game. So if we play your team, we're going to be going live with the scoreboard. We're going to be talking trash. As long as it's respectful, we're going to be talking trash. I ain't going to sit here and cap. I'm talking trash. I feel like we're going to beat every team in the NFL. We going undefeated, bro. But yeah, Jay Ward is a player that doesn't get no type of playing time, and I wish he did. But I am cheering for Phil Jackson to do good. And I am cheering for, I'm cheering for everybody to do good on our defense. I just feel like our defense is slept on because, the offense, when it comes to the NFL, they promote the offense more than they promote the defense. You know what I mean? Just like, you know what I mean? In every sport, just like in basketball, just like in baseball. But at the end of the day, I feel like defense wins championships. I really feel like that. I still feel like that. Like, start. Yes, for real though, Grass. Still feel like we need another DB. You know what? I was feeling like that too. But undrafted free agents, I just put a short out. I forgot the Bulls' name. That's crazy. I forgot the Bulls' name that I was just talking about. They got an undrafted free agent corner from Utah. I think he's going to be solid if he makes the team. I feel like our secondary is honestly underrated. I feel like because I look at it like this. Our pass rush is going to be so good. Our corners, our safeties, our linebackers are not going to have to cover that much because we're going to get to the quarterback super quick. That's just my biggest opinion. That's just my opinion. Like, I just feel like it's... Oh, look at this bird. What the heck is going on here? Hold on, y'all. This bird looking around, flying back and forth. Oh, I don't know if y'all seen that. I don't know if y'all seen it. I'm underneath the bridge right now. But I do feel like... Hold on. I do feel like the Vikings are in a situation where... Yeah, let everybody sleep on us. Let everybody feel like that our defense isn't that good, our secondary. We're going to show them. But I feel like, getting back to what I'm saying, I feel like our secondary is actually better than what people think. And I think it's because of our pass rush. And I think Isaiah Rodgers was a very good pickup. It was a steal. I think he was a steal. I think that our safeties is not as bad as we think. I feel like we're better than what we think we are. We're better than what we even think we are. We're so concerned about our secondary, which I was too. But it's just the belief of next man up, like the more opportunity, the more you can shine. When it came to Isaiah Rodgers, right, using him as an example, right, he was with the Eagles. Yes, he had some playing time, but he wasn't getting the playing time like he probably should get, right? But every time he did play for the Eagles, he made a play. And that's the thing about it. More playing time, more opportunity. He's going to be able to shine in that purple and gold because he will get that opportunity. And I feel like Isaiah Rodgers is going to do his thing, man, for an outside corner. Same with Phil Jackson at safety. He's going to get more opportunity because Cam left. And then Okuda, whatever we can get from him, he was ranked as a top corner out of college. He's just been getting hurt, but he's talented. We'll see what Brian Flores can bring out of him. I just feel like as Viking fans, even including myself, I'm not just talking to y'all, I'm including myself, we're underestimating the talent we have on the roster. And the biggest thing that we accomplished, honestly, was like this offseason was the trenches, which is going to help our secondary. All of the things that we did this offseason, specifically the trenches on both sides of the ball, is going to help. It's going to make our team, I don't want to say unstoppable, because I'm not going to go that far to have to play, but our team is built to win, bro. Our team is built to win in the playoffs. I'm concerned about the secondary. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people is concerned, including myself, But I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to see if they're going to make another move. We still got some money to spend. How much money we got to spend? Like 20 mil or 30 mil? I don't even know how much money we can spend still. I'm not sure exactly who's available. They want Asante Samuel Jr. There's rumors about him. But if he's healthy, why not take a chance on him? If he's healthy, there might be another trade. There might be a trade that we're not thinking about. Anything, something's going to happen. I just don't know what. We just don't know what. But I feel like our secondary is better than what we think it is. I really do. I really do. I really do. But we're going to see what happens, man. I am excited about what we're going to do. I feel like our defense is going to hold it down. I'm not saying, listen, it's a team sport. I feel like our special teams is my biggest concern. Let me keep it real with you. My biggest concern is special teams. Like, I'm not really concerned about the defense or the offense no more. Like, I'm more concerned, and that's a good problem to have. If your biggest concern is your off season, I'm talking about myself, that's a good problem to have because I feel like we addressed every single issue for the Minnesota Vikings. And I feel like we're underestimating what we have on the team, specifically the secondary on the defense. I feel like Theo Jackson is going to shine. I feel like Isaiah Rodgers is going to shine. I feel like our pass rush is going to get to the quarterback so our secondary doesn't have to be on an island getting all these yards thrown on them all dang on day because the quarterback's not going to have no time to do it. So, but we'll see. It's not good problem to have my DJ Moore going to be. Oh, no. DJ Moore is not going to do that, bro. No, it's not going to happen, bro. Our secondary is going to be, he ain't going to have no time to throw, bro. He ain't going to have no time to throw. Vikings coming to Cleveland this year. Graham going to harass McCarthy. Yeah, Graham nice, but he ain't nothing. Listen, bro. The one thing I'm going to tell you right now, bro. When we play y'all, we're going to beat the brakes off of the Browns. There's nothing y'all can do to stop us. J.J. McCarthy's the real deal. We're going to do it. We're going to run it all over everybody. I don't care what defense. I don't care what your ranked defense is last season. This is a whole nother season. We beating the brakes off of everybody this season. That's how I'm calling it, man. Like, that's our confidence. I'm real confident. I'm not just talking. Like, I feel like, listen, last season, 14-3 record, that was a warm-up season. This is the season right here, bro. This is the season where we're going to win the Super Bowl this year, bro. That's how I feel right now, bro, because the trenches for the Vikings is on another level. And I feel like the Vikings defense is going to be a top 10 defense. You already know our offense is going to be a top 10 offense. But our defense, we're going to have a top 10 defense, a top 10 offense. You know what I mean? The Vikings is going to be legit, man, for real. Yeah. We got the offensive line. Yeah. Y'all got the offensive line. Yeah, we got it all, bro. My biggest concern, like I said, the biggest concern for the Vikings this season, bro, for me, is the special teams, bro. And that's a good problem to have, man. Like, I really feel like we're going to be a top 10 defense, a top 10 offense, and I feel like we're sleeping on what we really have on this team. I think that Felton pickup in the third round, he gonna be nasty with it, bro. Felton's gonna be nasty with it, bro. With Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and T.J. Hockenson, it's about to go down, bro. It's about to go down this season. I cannot wait to see it. I can't wait until football, bro. Can't wait. And I'm about to go live on my other channel. Talk some basketball. On Mike Sports Vibes Ballin'. So if you're interested in basketball or baseball, go subscribe to that channel, Mike Sports Vibes Ballin'. It's definitely going down over there. And because there's some things that happened yesterday. I want to talk about that. But shout out to everybody that's in the building. I'm about to get off. And I'm going to say it again. The Vikings will have a top 10 defense in 2025. I think they will. And it's because of I feel like we're underestimating the team on defense. And I just feel like we have a great defensive coordinator. And I feel like Kwesi was absolutely amazing when it came to putting this team together on both sides of the ball. He said, not gonna lie, I can't wait to, man. I cannot wait, bro. Like, it's gonna be a very fun season, man. The NFC North Division is tough. The NFC's getting tougher, man. The AFC's always been tough. Um, yeah, every team in the NFC North Division has improved. You know, Caleb and got the Bears got an offensive line. They addressed their issues. Like, it's gonna be a good season, man. But shout out to y'all. Salute to y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm out, y'all. God bless. Peace out.